Yo, welcome everybody. We have a bonus live stream today for you all. We have Miyu on the Battle Ready Inc. channel, and then we have Kyle from Ride My Avatar. You can find both their YouTube pages very easily. They've made a good amount of content, so they're going to be duking it out today. This is still week one of the round robin tournament. So on the left here we have Ride My Avatar. He is running the Rapture with the Kindolf. So going for some really big power plays. And then on the right side we have Miyu running the Owlusion and the Ferritoon. Both pretty small creatures. Looks like, so she's got priority on deciding which field to kick. So it looks like she is going to kick out the, I think that was the Crag. And now they get to have the glories of figuring out Tabletopia there. So we're going to see the Windy Plateau. That's going to be our big 5 VP field there with the two two-pointers. So the 2 VP fields. We got the Sumner Peaks for that. If you win it, you get an extra 3 power on one of your allies. And then the other 2 are just vanillas. And divvying up the fields now. Alright, so we see at the top of the screen we have the Windy Plateau at field 1, and Calm Brook at field 2, and Sumner Peaks in field 3, which is a bit of a shame because if Sumner Peaks ends up being in field 1 or 2, you can actually do some really cool plays with that. Give the power to an ally in a field that hasn't scored yet in the order of scoring. But it being on 3 is going to definitely prevent that. Alright, so I believe both have resolved mulligans. The judge's deck has been shuffled. And Ride My Avatar has priority. He is first player here. So, looks like he's going to send the Rapture up here into the Windy Plateau. Looks like they have forgotten to do their resources, though. Jumping the gun a little bit there. Usually I like to put Kindolf in whatever the bigger field is. So like I would have put Kindolf in probably the Windy Plateau just because that's 6 power over the 4, and he's really easy to get even more power into because that's going to be a really important field to win. But it also just kind of depends on what all he has in his hand and just kind of how he's going to be approaching things. So he should be placing resource first, but it looks like Miyu might be going... Oh, they're going to do it at the same time. Wow, spicy. Alright, so we see the momentum shift on Ride My Avatar side. So support, give a familiar block. Super good. I like seeing this turn 1, round 1. Very, very good. And Alistair's Guide on the other side, also a pretty solid one. Move a tame ally to an adjacent field to give a friendly familiar +1 power. Seeing that Owlusion coming down first here. Now these are both magic familiars. I'm surprised the Owlusion doesn't go and hit the -1 onto the Rapture, honestly. Seems like an odd play. And also, I'd also think that because you really need both familiars to win a field, right? So yeah, I think because I'm sure I feel like the play is then you play the Ferrotoon with Illusion. They're both magic. You can seek 2. You don't really want to split those guys up. Yeah. So there's that. Yeah, I definitely would have... Yeah, this feels such an odd play. I would have put both of mine to counter the Rapture. The Rapture's only 4 power, and both of these together are 7. And you would have given a negative power with the Illusion onto the Rapture, putting it down to 3 versus 7 in the Windy Plateau. Who knows, though? Maybe there's a 6th sense, and they know that field 1 is going to be turned off. Maybe I'm just wrong there. So we're seeing that Seek 2 off of the Ferrotoon there, because they're both magic. So get to grab whatever is needed in the moment. And if you want to, there's also the live stream currently on the Battle Ready Inc. channel. So if you want to see what Miyu is currently holding in her hand and like their back and forth as well, you can go there. And of course, both of these will be available for playback later on. I hear nervous laughter. And just drops the lucky hat onto the table. Subtle flex of, I'm just going to show you what I've got here. Wow, all right. I'm sure it was just a Tabletopia mishap, though. Saying it's lagging. And they just keep shuffling that Judge's deck. I'm pretty sure it's pretty good and shuffled now. Alright, let's go ahead and reveal. Where are they playing, or rather not playing? Switch it up. The player for initiative switches a field in play. Oh no, with the reserve field, then no field is inactive this round. Ooh, that's really, really strong for the Might player for sure. Yeah, here comes the Crag. Oh gosh. Well, it works out that they put the Crag where where she doubled up on her familiars at least. So, yeah. Ooh, the Crag. That's a rough one for special tactics in that round 1. Or in general, really. And yeah, for those not aware of the Crag, 2 or less cost ally cards cannot be played in this field. So round 1, basically nobody's playing in this, which is really good that she actually has both familiars there. While it's not the Windy Plateau with that 5 VP, neither player can play allies to that field this turn. So looks like we're going to see Ignition coming down over here onto the field 1. So going to boost up both those familiars by +1. And then that momentum shift is going to give one of them block. That's a negative power, not a +1 power. There you go. They cannot hear me, by the way. So, even though I'm acting like I'm talking to them and they're replying, they can, in fact, not hear me at all. So, I am muted and deafened in Discord, but I am technically there with them. And they do have a judge sitting in the room with them in case they have any other questions. Any ruling questions. So, kicking it back over here to Miyu's side. Okay, there's the block for the momentum shift on the Kindolf. Makes sense. But now that's going to power up the Kindolf. So now they're actually tied 7-7. But Miyu does have that Alistair's Guide that could be useful here. To at least balance it back out. And there actually is a really powerful play. if she has an ally to play to the middle field that's tame, and then uses the Alistair's Guide to then move it over into field 3, then she could lock that one down. Unfortunately, that doesn't leave her a creature in field 2 though to win that one. So a lot to consider for sure. Doing a big long think, it seems. This is her first time live streamed as well. Silsene, that's a weird choice. So you may move or deploy a friendly familiar to this field. Like, why would you want to take your familiar out of a 4 VP field and put it in a 2 VP field? Unless she doesn't want to use that effect. No, she's going for it. But man, she must have some live stream jitters, because usually when she plays this, she just absolutely decimates me. I hear nervous laughter from the other room though, so she's definitely not not in a good position. Also, she's the type of player that if she if people make too many jokes and she starts laughing too much, she just like brain flatlines and plays become terrible. I know I'm giving her a hard time. She is my wife. It's okay. Sacrificial Bond here on the Ignition. Very, very good play. Very powerful. So I heard a click. Oh, from the ongoing from the Rapture. When an ally is KO'd in this field, Rapture gains +1 power. So now he's getting really, really juiced, and that Sacrificial Bond will now become a resource. And Ride My Avatar will get a draw for that as well. So man, that Miyu's hand must be absolutely terrible. Yeah, Ride My Avatar is about to get 9 victory points this round. That is huge. That's almost halfway to victory. And that Sac Bond had speed, so... Oh, went for another Ignition. I didn't even notice the second Ignition coming down. So going to power up both those familiars by another +1 here. You know, oh, no, can't do it. We know that she does have a Lucky Hat. She could play the Lucky Hat here and then do, like, I don't know, a Skyer onto the Windy Plateau and then, like, shove that... the Rapture back to the bench. Oh my gosh. And then end up winning that field by like the skin of her teeth. I don't know if that's the play. I don't know if that's what she's got going on, what she's cooking up. Oh, goes for a Moonlight Aura here. So this is going to get her 2 special attack tokens into her deck and then draw a card here. So a little 0-cost draw action. Pretty solid. So, first special attack into the deck. This is one of those things where it's just like, I feel so bad, it takes so long. Like in a real life game, you know, you can just grab those and then shuffle them in real quick. But in Tabletopia, you're like, let me slowly drag all these cards to where they need to go. And there's the draw. Now that did have speed, so she is still on the play here. There is still she still has the Lucky Hat, so we know there is the potential for a 2-drop here. Oh wow, another Moonlight Aura. Wow, okay, so there's a lot of special attacks into the deck. It's a lot of 0-costers. And the Lucky Hat in hand, too. Now, from what we know about her deck, we do know that she has the Hydrophant in the deck, so it would have been nice to be able to see that the Hydrophant come down before the Moonlight Auras. I think I would have played the Moonlight Auras before I played the Siltsune, honestly, because then you would have had that draw, so you would have had 2 more cards in hand before choosing to play that Siltsune. Oh, already drawn into the special attack. Going for the, looks like the Rapture there. Makes sense. I would assume so. If you know you're playing against Ferocity and they're playing stuff like Sacrificial Bond, they're just going to kill that Ignicen. So there's no point in putting negative power onto the Ignicen if they're just going to keep killing it. And then gets the draw off of the special attack there. See where she continues on from this, because she's still playing with speed. That's is that 3 cards with speed now? Oh, we're seeing the Foxtail Necklace. Okay. Man, yeah, if the Hydrophant had been there. We do see the ongoing from the Ferrotoon triggering, though. When you add a 3rd, 6th, or 9th resource, gain 1 VP. So that is her 3rd resource. So she might not be winning too many victory points off of fields, but at least she's going to get a little bit of bonus for that one. Got a big, long debate going on here. Alright, we see the Alistair's Guide, so no Lucky Hat going to be used here. Looks like the Lucky Hat's going to be saved. Seeing a Crocient coming down. And in Field 2, like, you're already winning Field 2? Why are you putting so much stock into Field 2? Yeah, we're going to see the Siltsune getting moved. At least the Siltsune is finally getting moved over into Field 3, since you can't play it any other time. Moving her own, so the Crocient is going to trigger here. Debut, move another ally. If they are a friendly ally, gain 1 VP. So 2 VP gain, you know, that's still solid. Now there is the Alistair's Guide here. Move a tame ally to an adjacent field to give a friendly familiar +1. Choosing not to use it? She must have forgotten. Oh, she's so flustered. Yeah, looks like Ride My Avatar is choosing to pass here, taking the initiative for the next round. Although, should have already had it, I believe. Since his field was kicked, he should have it already. But no, they're just both going to pass. He's going to take 9 victory points, and she's only going to get 2. Yeah, if she had left the Allusion over there, it would have been 7, 8, 9 over the 8-point Kindolf. Oh, and then she would have taken 6 VP and him only 5. So definitely a big misstep on her part. That's real unfortunate. Alright, so resetting. Ride my avatar, not wasting any time. Already slamming down. Oh, no, he did not. Okay, that's the sack bond. I thought he already had slammed down another resource. I was like, goodness, he hasn't even drawn his 3 cards yet. There we go. There we see the 3 cards. If you look at the top of the screen, you actually can see their hand sizes. So I always like to flip my like sacrificial bond and foxtail necklaces. I like to flip those down, just so I don't get mixed up that thinking they're a support card or something like that, right? Just like they don't have a support effect, so there's no point in them being face up. Okay, looks like both are dropping here. We see the Fury Potion on Rad My Avatar's side. That support, you may KO a friendly ally to give a friendly familiar +2 power. And that's what I was saying about the Ignition earlier. No point giving it a negative if it's just going to end up getting, you know, KO'd anyways. And then we see the Gelsene over on the other side, which is going to give a friendly ally block. Okay, we're seeing the Rapture coming down here. So that debut, you may KO a 1 or less cost ally in this field. Gonna eat up that Siltsune, and probably not gonna get a ton of use out of this KO. Choose a field, give each opposing ally -1 power. So giving the Ignition a -1 power. Again, we see the Fury Potion. We know what's coming there, so you're just like losing the value. And then the Rapture ongoing also. He's going to end up going up to another +1. So already at a 7 here. So the choice, where do you put the Illusion this time? Like, were you going to put that -1 power somewhere? I mean, yeah, probably the Crag. You know you can't get creatures in there as easily. You do have the Alistair's Guide at least, which is good. So at least put the Illusion there, and then you can get knock the Rapture back down a little bit. This should kick it back over to Rad My Avatar's side. Yeah, play the Kindolf over the Windy Plateau every single time. Yep, that's how you do it. Just a big boy go burr in big VP field. Alright, so kicking it back over to Miyu's side, that Fairtune now. Just going to go for that Seek 2 in conjunction with the Illusion. Put 7 power there, so at least beating out the Rapture by 1. A whole lot of time being spent choosing a 1 card out of 2, but it must be a pretty big important play here. Okay, looks like some seat issues were happening. Some Tabletopia issues there. The hidden area wasn't in fact hidden correctly, so in the wrong seat. I was wondering why her thing was red instead of the normal purple and blue that we're used to seeing. Alright, so they should be ready to reveal the Judge's Deck card now. Where are they playing or not playing this time? Oh, goodness. Speed up. The field worth the least VP is inactive this round. All right, so that's going to be field 2. Unfortunately, I think Miyu really needed the highest scoring field, the slow it down to be played this time. Just to kind of, keep that in check there. Because looks like Ride My Avatar is going to be able to score that field 1 again with no contest potentially. Pushing him up to 14 at, the bare minimum here. And Miyu only going to be able to get 4, taking her up to 8. 8 versus 14. I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibilities of taking control, but it's definitely in a bit of a bind. All right, so Ride My Avatar is on the play here. What will he do? I feel like we're going to see a Fury Potion and Momentum Shift being used here. Because you want to give block to your Kindolf like ASAP. You want him winning that field. Give him that extra 2 power from KOing the Ignition. Or giving it to the Rapture would make more sense, because that would bump him up to an 8. Being able to beat out the double familiar combo of Miyu. Oh, going for a Gel Ice instead, though. Oh, goodness. Okay. So it's still going to be able to use those 2 resources. I feel like Momentum Shift is the one to go with here. But debut, choose an opponent, take a random card from their hand. Oof, so good. And yeah, what we figured was coming anyway was the Fury Potion being used on the Ignition to bump up. And then there it is. He's going for the Rapture to putting it up to an 8 total power, beating out the 7. But yeah, now we get to resolve that Gel Ice and see what is going to get taken here. Alright. Trying to figure out the best way, it seems, to pull cards out of the hand. You just pull them out of your hand. That's the best way to pull cards out of your hand, is to literally pull them out of your hand. It's like we're seeing them being placed down into, it should be the hidden area there, but if they don't get like dead center, then it doesn't quite work. It's a little weird. It's a little wonky at times. But very curious of what is going to get taken here. Oh, it's going to be the Adult. Taking the Adult for himself. Which is, that's kind of awkward. Gel Ice not a bad target for Adult, really. It's a wild, you gain the VP, but then the Gel Ice KO effect kicks in, discard the top card of each opponent's deck. If any were 3 or more cost, gain 1 VP. Yeah. So it could potentially counterbalance the Adult, which would not be ideal, but like you could potentially, decently high roll it there. And also clearing that 4 power off the field would definitely be useful here. She definitely needs to use that Alistair's Guide there onto the Croshen. Put that Croshen into the Crag. Give your familiar the +1 power. Yeah, she missed that in the first round, which I think is super, super crucial. And the Gel Ice does have speed, so Ride My Avatar should still be on the play here. He's got 6 cards in hand, one of which we know is the Adult, which doesn't do any good here. Nothing has been played this round. No allies have been played. He was the first to go. So essentially 5 cards to choose from to play. Could be kind of scary, though, burning through all your resources before your opponent even takes their first action. Because then they can basically do whatever they want, and they know you can't react to whatever they choose. And can't play into the Crag, so very easily for Miyu to end up winning that Crag. As long as she doesn't forget her Alistair's Guide this time. Oh, and the Gelsene giving the Crocian block with that Guardian. Yeah, that's really nice. So if she has like a good 2-coster, we know that she still has the hat, right? She still has Lucky Hat to reduce costs. She really needs to try to win that field 1. I know that's a big ask, especially with that Kindolf sitting there with, 8 power. Oh, going for another Sacrificial Bond on his own Gel Ice. Wow. Okay, that I did not see coming. Because the KO effect could potentially be really good from the Gel Ice, right? Getting that VP, but losing out on 4 power. Ouch. And it's not even in the same field as Rapture to gain that +1. Really, really wants that ramp. And that does have speed. Also does draw him a card, so maybe he really needs that card draw. So, went ahead and resolved it. KO, discard the top card of each opponent's deck. If any or 3 or more cost, gain 1 VP. I don't think we saw the KO of the Gel Ice. Bakera's 2 cost, so 2 should have been used, right? Yeah. Alright, let's jump into that channel right quick. Seems like our judge is having to step away for a moment.
Oh.
Hey guys, the momentum shift should be exhausted, correct? 2 for the Gel Ice and then 2 for the Pakera.
Yeah. Everything's suspended here.
Oh, okay. When you wiggled it, it shifted. So yeah, it just wasn't for us and the viewers. Okay, we're good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. So yeah, good old classic Tabletopia malfunction. So we're seeing a special attack coming down there to give that minus power and that draw. So Pakera debut, each other friendly creature in this field gains +1. So that Kindolf just getting crazy strong. And then a KO Seek 2. If the card you put in your hand matches the style of this card, you may reveal it to gain 1 VP. So we're seeing a good amount of VP gaining. Alright. Seeing 2. Oh, there's the Skyer. There it is. There's the baby. So coming down, gonna push that Use that debut effect from the Skyer. In this field, shuffle up to 2 opposing ally cards into their owner's deck, or return an opposing familiar back to their owner's bench. And using the Gelsene here, give a friendly ally block. So she really wants to win that field, so getting that extra little bit of oomph makes sense. Still holding on to the lucky hat for something, though. So this could be a huge swing. I still need to get that Crochet over there into field 3, though, into the Crag. And Skyer is a speed, so Miyu is still going here. Now she is 2 power shy of matching the Pakera, or 3 from just being able to take it out. Are we going to see the lucky hat, or are we going to see a two-coster? I feel like this is the time to make some powerful plays, right? Because you know that Ride My Avatar cannot counter basically anything because he's all exhausted out. Big thinking going on here. I know in this situation, I'd be windmill slamming something. Just like, bring it on, here we go. Alright, looks like we're seeing a double exhaust here. What are we playing? Ooh, a take flight. Speed again, move a friendly familiar, and add 1 from your discard as a resource. Huh. So maybe giving up? Okay. Well, this makes sense, because you're going to have the 6 power over there, which will beat out the 5, so you'll be able to take the Windy Plateau. And then add 1 card from your discard as a resource. That's pretty cool. So still going to have a little bit of resources left after this play. Yeah. Unfortunately, no support cards with support have been used just yet. Now, will the Alistair's Guide get remembered this time? Move that Crochet over, buff up the Ferrotoon, at least get you 7. You're 1 short. Another special attack would definitely do it, right? At least tie you up. Now, will the Alistair's Guide get remembered? Come on, remember the Alistair's Guide. Oh, she's clicked it. She has clicked it, so maybe it's going to happen. Move a tame ally to an adjacent field to give a friendly familiar +1. Oh no, you've already won that field. It's already in the bag. Oh, bummer. Oh well. Can't do the perfect plays all the time, I guess. But then +1 power to something. At least give the power to the Ferrotoon, right? You're already crushing field 1. Nope, just gonna secure it just in case there's any more 0-cost cards. I mean, there could be something like a strength training in Ride My Avatar's hand, which would bump that Pakera up to a 7. So, you know, just playing it safe here, I could see it. I could respect it. Yeah, 6, 7, 8, 9. Just gonna pass after that. So yeah, the take flight was with speed. So choosing to pass after that. Not gonna use that last resource for anything. And probably gonna be scoring fields after this. So 5, which was pretty big, but then 4 for Ride My Avatar. So puts us up to 9-13. We're definitely getting into a closer game at this point. So 4-point difference. That was round 2. So Windy Plateau is such a high-scoring games. Sometimes it's crazy. On those rare occurrences where you see 2 Windy Plateaus in play, like both players bring it right, and neither player kicks it out. Those games are insane. Like, you can very easily, the game will end by the end of round 3, depending on, of course, the flips of the judge's deck, things like that. Looks like Miyu is going to get an extra 3 cards this time, though, instead of just the 2. Haven't seen a ton of card draw just yet. Going for the Lucky Hat. Lucky Hat in the resource. Yeah, now flipping those cards down, realizing that, okay, yeah, it's confusing if you have a bunch of supports. And you can get mixed up real easily. They both still have their inspiration as well. So neither player has used it quite yet. That might have been a really interesting play. If Ride My Avatar had flipped the inspiration to move the Rapture over to field 1 to win it, right? Giving up field 3, but if no one... Oh, no, she still had the Ferrotoon over there, so Ferrotoon would have taken it. So maybe not quite worth it. But I was going to say abandon field 3 so nobody scores it and just to win field 1. Yeah, so very curious to see where this round goes. So yeah, we see the Lucky Hat on Miyu's side. Still waiting for Ride My Avatar to drop his resource. He may choose not to, though. There is that possibility. I've seen it rarely happen. If you have watched the channel, Dawn actually did it. I think we did a practice game. It might not have been live streamed, but we did a practice game, and her hand was like only 2 cards, and so she just chose not to add a resource because she needed those 2 cards more than she needed a resource, especially late game. So should be an interesting round this time, I think. All right, going for the Warder here. So normally you would just put this face down to prevent the knowledge. Basically, you don't want to give your opponent too much extra knowledge. Here we're seeing the Rapture coming down and going to eat the Crochin. Yeah, see, I would have thought giving block to the Crochin earlier with that Guardian made more sense. But she needed to make sure the Skyer didn't die to win that field. So, like, I see it both ways there. I usually like giving my Guardians block, though, just because, like, they have to target it. It's really, really good. But then going to gain a +1 power again from eating that Crochin. Yeah, no KO effect there, so it just goes to the discard. Again, going real heavy into that field 3 with both familiars. I assume that's where the Ferrotoon's going. That's where we've seen it go every single time. For that Seek 2 again. I'm curious of where the Kindolf goes. Like, Kindolf field 2, I mean, it's 2 points less than the Crag, but it's just unoccupied. Like, nobody's there. It just seems really solid. And the Picare has a -1. I might have missed a play earlier. I don't know how it got that -1. I thought it was at +1. I'm not really sure. I missed something somewhere. Oh, just gonna stick with it though. Gonna battle it out for that field 3. That, I mean, 4 VP versus 2 does make sense. All right, so on the play here, where are we playing? Looks like a your call. Player for initiative chooses. Um, Man, I would turn off that field 1 so fast. Like, because there's so much power up there that you just can't compete with, right? And slow the game down a little bit. Yep, there it is. Yep. Yeah, slow the game down. You're winning field 3, or at least close to it. I think it's, yeah, the Kindolf has it by 1, but I mean that's an easy shift here. We do see it is special there, and we know that the deck does run the Sylph stick, so, or the Sune stick, sorry, does run the Sune stick, so could in fact see that. Yeah, use the lucky hat for that draw. Looks like we're seeing a 2-cost. Ooh, the Hydrofin finally coming down. Unfortunately, a lot of the 0-cost cards have been played already, but you know what? Better late than never. Gonna gain that +1 power when you play another card. So at least this is being played at the beginning of the round. And then KO, you may move a friendly ally to the field Hydrofin was in. Alright, so Rhyme Avatar's got definitely some choices here. I'm curious if he uses the Fury Potion again, this time on the Pakera. The Pakera does have that KO, Seek 2, potentially a VP gain, which can be really good. Alright. Just going for a blank right now. Going for an adult. Ooh, man. Rough times. Yeah, the adult that was stolen at that. Taking out that Hydrofin. That's rough. Hey, but you know what? You get a free move. You get to move your Skyer at least to that field. So it's not like a total loss per se, but the VP gain probably is the thing that hurts the most. But you're at least still winning that field, right? Yeah, and that's wild. The Skyre's wild, so you couldn't even use the Alistair's Guide on it. Like, you have to do some really interesting plays. I think playing out a Tame and then moving it over into that Crag is still a good play. Alright, let's see what the follow-up here is, because, yeah, that was pretty rough. Probably should have used the Gelsene, honestly, to give it block. That would have been the play to do. Instead of using a generic, using the Lucky Hat and the Gelsene would have had block on it. Alright, we've seen the Gelsene this time, though. What do we got? Looks like we got 2 resources coming in. So that's 4 used so far. Not sure what's being discussed. This is one of those times where I'm like, man, I wish I wasn't deafened. But it's really hard to commentate when you have players just like, oh, okay. Saving the Gelsene now makes so much more sense. For the Enchantress, debut, shuffle 1 special attack token into your deck for each opposing creature in this field. Only 1, it's just the adult. However, ongoing, power, the star symbol, the power is going to be equal to the number of resources you have. So that's a 6 power Enchantress right there. And should have block because of the Gelsene. We'll see if it gets remembered. there it is. Could also move the Enchantress over with the Alistair's Guide later, depending on, what else is played here. So far, Kyle still has a big grip. Ride my avatar there, Kyle D. I think if I was Kyle, I would be playing a Judge's Decree in this moment before things got too far out of hand. It could happen. Let's see. That's 3 resources right there. Yeah. See, that's why you flip those cards down so you don't get too confused. Oh, going for the Warder here. So that makes sense why 1 was used in there. So choose a creature in this field for the rest of the round. They have no debut or ongoing effects. Ouch. Oh, that hurts so bad. But there is block. So the block is huge right here for this. Being able to just stop that effect and then with the block is so good. There it is. So 3 costs just to remove that block. Ouch. I'm curious if we're having another glitch here because that sacrificial bond was used. The momentum shift for the Kindolf makes sense there. That sac bond there should be exhausted, so it should just be 2 resources left. Alright, looks like we're seeing 2. A second Skyer. Oh my gosh. Gonna shuffle back in both of those allies there back into the deck. So, man, that's a huge commitment there. I would definitely use that Alistair's Guide, move the Enchantress over. Oh man, I just want to scream it to the heavens so she hears me, but it's so cheating and I don't want to do that. Oh no, come on, move it over. Yeah. Auto goes back into her own deck, which is pretty cool. And make sure it gets shuffled there. There it goes. Alistair's Guide, come on, remember it. Remember the Alistair's Guide. Oh, she's clicked on it. You're saying there's a chance. Field 1's turned off. There's no reason to move anything to field 1. Move it into field 3. Win the Crag. Yeah, oh, come on. It's so close. So close. Is that enough? 7, 11? It's close. 9. Yeah, 11 to 9 there. I would have definitely done the Enchantress though, just to be as safe as possible. And then so 10 now with the plus. So right, or no, 12? Is that how math works? Yeah, 12 to 9. So even a strength training right now isn't enough for the Kindolf. Two resources left on Kyle's side. And he does have the inspiration still available. Could use the inspiration in this instance. I know I would. I mean, the Enchantress would just move also, but you could move your... oh, no, I don't know if the Enchantress is even big enough. Yeah, moving the Rapture down there to help the Kindolf. Probably doing some adding here. Hovering over that inspiration. Yep, there it goes. Flipping the inspiration. Ooh, moving to the middle. Oh, okay. I mean, it's still, I guess it nets you the same amount. Well, that's only 9 to 9, though. That's not enough. Oh, hold on. Inspiration is an action.
20 degrees. And then rotate.
Hold up. The inspiration is an action. So it would go back to Miyu's side. Also, you used 1 resource earlier for the adult, and then 3 for that warder. So you should only have 2 resources left.
No, I have 3 resources. I've been playing that correctly. I had a 2 cost and then a 1 cost.
You played the warder, which was... Oh, is the warder 2 cost? Okay, sorry. I thought the warder was 3 cost.
Warder is 1 cost.
Yeah, is 2. Yeah, you're good. Okay, but the inspiration does count as an action. So moving the rapture down would then pass turn and then bring it back.
She passed already though, Chase.
Okay. Yep, we're good.
Yeah, she did.
All right. So yeah, we're all square then. So, oof, that's rough. Yeah, the spinning of the sacrificial bond earlier, the never-ending rotation of it when the warder was played threw me off. Yeah, the warder is only 2 cost. Yeah, in my head I had it as a 3 cost for some reason, which would not make sense. It definitely makes more sense as a 2 cost. 3 would be way too much. So there we do see that Volt Rock coming down, and oof, that's probably going to be the game right there. Yeah, because you're going to give the 4 to the Kindolf, which is going to end up being a 5 because of Kindolf's ongoing ability there. Yep, there's that. So it makes it a 14 power, which is not going to be enough over there on the other side. Only a 12. And then that Rapture is now going to be huge. So 9 power versus 12. Yeah, so that's going to be 6 VP gained here, already at 14. So it's going to be exactly enough to win the game on this turn. Oof. Real brutal there. So yeah, that is going to do it. And then for good measure, going to Fury Potion with the Pakara. Ouch. Yeah. Real awkward. And I did jump over and look at the hand there. So make sure you go watch back those the live stream from Miyu, and then Ride My Avatar is going to have a recorded video later in the week with his point of view as well. So go check those out, and we will see you later this week. We should have another week 2 feature match. Will be on Friday, so stay tuned for that.